we're going to be tying up a little shad, a little minnow type jig. We're going to be using another hairy ball. $3, you can tie a million jigs off of one of these, and it looks amazing in the water when you add some of that polar flash into it. Hey, on a sunny day, you should see this thing when you're working it along. I've killed the fish on this from trout, crappie, small stream, smallmouth. So let's tie up this little 1 in 64 number 8 hook minnow jig. Guys, the jig that we're using today, this is a trout magnet jig head. This is a 1 in 64 with a number 8 hook. Right here's what they look like. They come 5 in a box, and you can get them in a couple of different colors. They got the flat nose on them, and they come chartreuse like this one right here without the eyes or the red. We do our own painting on them when we want to get them. I added a red mouth to this one, some red eyes. I hit it with LA Color white and fingernail polish, then like a chrome type fingernail polish over top of that white. Laid the eyes to it, then I hit it with the UV resin to give it that minnow look. That's what we're going for today in this little jig tie here. Today we're going to be using a red thread on this tie right here. We're going to be running down about 3/4 way down the shank of that hook. And we are going to be doing a minnow. So, or minnow as I call them. We're going to be starting out with some polar flash. Absolutely love this stuff. Use it in a lot of my jigs. And I'm just going to go ahead, cut a piece of it off here. And this is going to be what's going to be giving us the tail action on this jig as my thread tries to do the twist for us. And right here's about what you need. I'm going to weed out some of these stray fibers that we got here. And we want this to lay back about 1/4 inch off the shank of that hook. And we're kindly just going to let it lay right on top of it for this tie right here. We'll give him some tight wraps here, locking him in. And then we're just going to go ahead, take the rest of this, take our scissors, and give it a nice little haircut up here toward the front. Trim some of that loose stuff off there. Lock him down real good. This is going to be a nice looking jig in the water, guys. Okay, guys, next thing we're going to be adding, I call these hairy balls. You can pick these up like at Joann's. You can get them like at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, whichever one's closer to you, or you can order them right offline. They come in about 4 or 5 different colors. I gave like $3 and some change for it. And this is excellent material when tying jigs. It's just like bucktail. You know, it's a fake hair, but it's really inexpensive. And to me, when tying jigs, I think it looks actually better in the water than bucktail when you tie with it. So we just need a small pinch of it. I usually just pinch it up. We want this to come back right about to the bend of the hook. We don't want it to go back onto our flash back there where the tail action will be when we're jigging. So we'll just go ahead and get this cut. Then we'll lay it right on top of that jig head, pushing down over that shank. We'll give him a couple loose turns here where we can work with him. And then we will just start pushing down. We want this to go all the way around the shank of that hook, covering it. Just pushing him down. That looks pretty good right there. And you're going to have some loose fibers, but you'll be able to clean it up when you once get done. We'll lay some tight wraps right behind that jig head, locking all that in. And then we can just brush him off here, clean him up. This is excellent stuff. If you've never used it, I really encourage you to try this stuff out right here. I think you'll really like it. Now we're going to take a little bit more of our flash in here. We're just going to cut us some small strips of it out here. We don't need much of it at all. We're going to be putting this on the side of it, on each side, just like you would like regular traditional flashing. We'll clean him up here. And we need to get rid of a little bit of this. I cut too much of it there. There we go. That looks pretty good. We're going to lay this right back to where the end of that hair ends there. We'll give him a couple of turns here. And then we're just going to flip our jig over. Bring this right across that collar. Lay it right down the side. We can clean it up when we once get it tied in. Give him a couple of tight turns here. There we go. It's looking good. And then we're just going to pick everything up, kind of lift it up. And then we're going to start building that collar up. I love a red collar on minnow type bait as I call them. It gives it that wounded look. And that flash just pops off there in the water. So we'll just straighten it out here, cut some of those longer fibers out. Pull some of those back there that was stray. Lock all that in, and we got him done here. It's time to do a whip finish. We're going to do 5 turns on this. Lock him in. And then we're going to lay the UV resin to it. If you don't have UV resin, Sally Hansen is awesome. Crazy glue. But when you're using this UV resin, it's really going to protect that collar. Plus, it's going to give it a nice shiny look as well. I like going all the way around that collar, coating it up real good, and then just go back and hit it with that UV light. You can see the smoke rolling off of it there, heating up. Well, guys, there you go. Little 1 64 ounce jig. You need to give us a try right here with that polar flash. You can just see it popping out there. This looks awesome in the water, especially like on a sunny day. You're jigging for those crappie, fishing those streams for those trout or those little smallmouth creek fishing like we do a lot. This is a good little jig to have with you right here. Until next time, stay safe out there on the water. Give us a little jig a tie right here and give it a try. And we'll see you right back here in the next one.